The vehicle cargo import-export business in GTA Online is one of my favourites, and really embodies what the GTA franchise is all about, and that's stealing high-end cars and selling them off for a profit. But this is a very much overlooked part of GTA. So in this video, I'm going to go through how to best run it, including how to only ever get to source the top range vehicles, where to run it from, and how to maximise profits so you can make easy millions. Before we get into it, don't forget to drop it a like and subscribe for the best GTA guides on the internet. So this is how you run the vehicle cargo business in 2025. Before you can buy yourself a vehicle warehouse, you first must own a CEO office. There are 4 to choose from, starting at just $1 million up to $4 million. The location isn't majorly important here, so if you're short on cash, then just buy the Maze Bank West for $1 million. You'll now be able to buy one of 9 vehicle warehouse locations, starting at $1.5 million, with the most expensive being $2.85 million. There are only 2 locations that you should consider, and that's the cheapest one at La Mesa, and my pick as the best one at La Puerta for $2.735 million. The reason this is the best one is because it has easily the best large space to deliver your vehicles into. If you do want to swap locations, you will need to empty your current one of vehicles first, so bear this in mind. You can then choose your interior design, which is purely cosmetic and will make no difference to how much money you can earn. Your warehouse can store up to 40 stolen vehicles at any one time. In the basement garage, you have a large space to store any special vehicles that can be purchased, like the Ruiner and the Phantom Wedge. Now onto how to run the business. There are 3 ranges of vehicles that you can source. These are standard, mid, and top. For standard and mid range, there are a total of 10 different models, but with then 3 variants of each. And for the top range, there are 12 different models, again with 3 variants of each. Each of these ranges pay out different amounts, with standard paying out up to $37,500, mid paying $62,500, and top range paying out up to $100,000. So of course, you only want to source the top range vehicles to maximise your income, and there is a way to manipulate the game so you only ever get these missions. However, you do need to do a bit of grinding first, and that's by sourcing at least 10 different standard vehicles and 10 different mid-range vehicles, and any others until you reach 60% capacity in your warehouse, which is equivalent to 24 cars. If done correctly, every sourcing mission from now on will only ever give you the top range vehicles. The idea from now on is to then source the top range vehicle, export it straight away, and then source another, and so on. This means that you never want to export any standard or mid-range vehicles to keep your warehouse at 60%. Now this is all set up, you can start making a killing on this business. When sourcing, it's always best to do this from your terabyte, which you should park outside of your warehouse. You then want to activate job warping, as these missions can take you all over the map. I'll leave a link on how to job warp in the description, so definitely check that out. Once you've started the mission, leave on your oppressor to find out where the vehicle is. The sourcing missions are extremely varied and quite fun. Lots of people will tell you to use a cargo bob or an iron mule to transport your vehicle, but that is a total waste of time considering you can't job warp with it, and it's mostly faster to just drive it back to your warehouse anyway. During these missions, you're likely going to suffer some damage, which will be taken out of your pocket upon delivery, but on average this shouldn't be more than $2,000 to $3,000. If you take too much damage, you may want to consider blowing it up, as the profit margins may be too small for the effort. If you do ever get the Roosevelt Valor, which is a top range vehicle, it's best to never export this as it's horrendously slow.
Okay, the work's been done. Take the car to the buyer and don't let another organization get in the way.
Which means it's slow exporting, and will mean you're likely to source it again with it still being slow. Each mission should take about 3 to 4 minutes, and then there's a 3-minute cooldown between each sourcing.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, I'll get you out of trouble. No problem.
During sourcing and selling, these vehicles can be stolen by other players, or by you, so it's always best to source in private lobbies. However, you can use this to your advantage if you are aiming to complete the Tier 4 Career Progress Challenge, as you and any friends in your lobby can all source at the same time and then swap vehicles based on what you all need to complete your collections. Speaking of which, there are 10 car collections that you can export for a bonus payout. These range from $100,000 up to $310,000. Generally, these are not worth paying attention to, as they will only hinder your profits compared to the method I mentioned earlier. When you do export your vehicles, always do so to the specialist dealer, which has an upfront cost of $20,000, as it pays out the most. You'll then be able to make some alterations to the car. None of these make a difference to the final payout, so just choose the fastest options.
Okay, the work's been done. Take the car to the buyer and don't let another organization get in the way.
You can only export 1 car per person in your organization, so if you want to export 4, you'll need yourself and 3 more associates. That said, it's always best to do these solo, as when doing so in a public lobby with the high demand bonus, you can make as much as $150,000 per car. If you export more than 1 car, only you will receive the bonus, not the other players also delivering their cars. So you could be losing out on another $150,000 by doing it this way. Any damages incurred along the way will be taken from your final payout. Another benefit of selling in public lobbies is how it means you won't automatically get chased and shot by NPCs. This is a default mission design if you export a vehicle while solo in a lobby, or if nobody in it is also registered as a CEO. Cooldowns for exporting these vehicles will depend on how many were exported, which could be as much as 50 minutes if you exported 4 in one go. Annoyingly, you need to be in one lobby until this timer has elapsed. If you lobby hop around, each time the cooldown timer will be reset again. This even happens if you turn the game off and return to it the next day. This is one of only a few businesses that will never get raided, so if you like, you can source as much stock as you like for as long as you like with no fear of it ever being taken. So that is how to run the vehicle cargo import-export business in 2025. What guide would you like me to cover next? Let me know in the comments.